followers, and welcome to the Lair of the Film Exorcist. Now, like last time, before we start, go ahead and tell me down in the comments section below which Scooby Doo series or movie was your favorite. Mine has to be a toss-up between Mystery Incorporated and Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, which I hope to do someday. Because tonight, we will be taking a look at Scoob. The story follows Scooby Doo and the gang as they face their most challenging mystery ever, a plot to unleash the ghost dog Cerberus upon the world. As they race to stop this dogpocalypse, the gang discovers that Scooby has an epic destiny greater than anyone imagined. Now, to my opinion. Let's be honest, this movie does have a lot of hate going towards it, especially from YouTubers like Dr. Wolfula and 3C Films. But is it really that bad? The movie tries to do something different by bringing many different franchises together, similar to what Mystery Incorporated did with that one Dream episode. Gets rid of the mysterious aspect for the most part, and brings in robots and mythology similar to what 13 Ghosts and a lot of direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies have done before. So was this really a bad movie, or was it a pretty good one? Let's solve this mystery right now. Now, I'd like to just say that I kinda came into the series a bit late, since I was born during the time of What's New Scooby-Doo, and I didn't learn about the series until my favorite cousin showed me the original Scooby-Doo when I was around 3 or 4, so I have her to thank for my love of the series, and I can say that I have almost seen all the original shows, except for 13 Ghosts, and anything after Goblin King, so that leaves the WWE movies and Phantasaur, Abracadabra, or whatever it was called. So yeah, I've missed a lot of the modern ones. But like I said during my most recent Star Wars video, I still think my opinion deserves to be heard, even if it came onto the franchise late. So I'll start with the one thing I really didn't like, and that is the soundtrack. Just by listening to the first few moments of the movie, I knew they weren't going to do anything new with the music, especially when they decided to play California Love by Tupac, which does explain that the story does start out in California instead of Coolsville or Crystal Cove. But it's such a weird choice for this movie. And the rest of the songs are just pop songs from either the 21st century or from the 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s, which doesn't really work at all because I didn't come to Scooby-Doo to listen to the pop songs. But I will say that the little joke with Shaggy's phone was pretty cute. And I choose to see it as a connection to Scooby-Doo's long history of having a show during each of these eras. I will also say that I did love how they incorporated the original Scooby-Doo theme song, but also gave it a bit of a modern twist, similar to what Simple Plan did to the song during What's New Scooby-Doo, and then had the Hex Girls play it, which was honestly one of the best parts of the show, and of the movies. Well, now that we've got that out of the way, let's move into what I like about the movie. Let's start with the amazing reimagining of the original Scooby-Doo intro, which was done in 3D like the rest of the movie and just does it the way that we remember it so well. And also, they used it as a transition to show us how 5 kids became the best mystery-solving gang in TV history. We also get another origin for Scooby-Doo and Shaggy's friendship, which this one is definitely similar to the one from Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins. But this time, it takes place on a beach where Shaggy has to save Scooby from a cop who caught him stealing meat, which then results in them becoming friends and sharing said meat, which was kinda sweet, and this leads to the gang's first mystery, which was pretty interesting, especially when it was just to get a bag of candy, and it turns into stopping a ghost, which was a nice twist, I guess. The only problem is that this is the third origin story for the gang in the past decade, which makes me wonder which one is actually canon, and I kinda want it to be this one, because of how sweet it is and really emphasizes Shaggy and Scooby's love of food. I also kinda noticed that the gang's costumes represented their roles in the movie, like Fred was dressed as a knight because he's usually the muscle, Velma was dressed as Ruth Bader Ginsburg because she's smart. Daphne dresses up as Wonder Woman because she's usually flashy like the known superhero. And Scooby and Shaggy are dressed as Blue Falcon and Dynamite because they're the heart, which most superheroes have. And I kind of figured out later on that Dick Dastardly was really Simon Cowell all along because he was trying to break up the gang so he can catch Scooby-Doo quicker, which kind of helps the story after you watch the whole thing. Now sadly, they did decide to use a lot of millennial jokes during this movie, like calling Fred a poor man's Hemsworth, which I did find it kind of funny, but I just feel the movies used way too many. I mean, even Scooby-Doo the movie, the original one from the early 2000s, decided to modernize the story by having people dressed like they were from the early 2000s. And it worked because it was just some clothing, and they also changed the use of music from that time. But it was subtle, where this is just throwing joke after joke at you. Some aren't even funny, but the rest did get me laughing. Now we also got to see a few of the tropes that the show is known for, like the chase gag, which shows up during the fight with Cerberus, and we also get to see Scooby and Shaggy try to trick the robots by dressing up like restaurant staff, which was pretty cute and a huge callback to every time they've done it. So yeah, the other Scooby-Doo is still there under all these dumb jokes. But what I don't get is why so many people were mad about the change in the story, when, like I said before, these characters have done this before in a lot wackier ways than this. Like when Scooby and Shaggy went to a king's castle and told him stories, or when they went to teach all those monster kids. So why are people so mad? I mean, for years, people have complained that the shows and movies have been doing the same old things for years. So why are they mad that this movie tried to do something different? I mean, yeah, when I heard Blue Falcon was going to be a part of the movie, I had expected the original Blue Falcon that we did see in the Rise of the Blue Falcon, that one Scooby-Doo movie that came out a while ago, and not his son, who needed advice from Scooby while protecting him. So yeah, I can't understand why people were disappointed with the Blue Falcon, but the rest of the characters were great, like Captain Caveman and Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Three of the most notable characters from Hanna-Barbera, next to Scooby. So they were perfect for this movie, and it almost felt like the old Scooby-Doo episodes, where they would bring on a famous celebrity one at a time. And I just really miss all these great characters, and I hope they do continue this story by bringing more of our Hanna-Barbera favorites. Why not bring in the Flintstones, have a bit of time travel in Scooby-Doo, or bring the Jetsons? Anyone. I just want to see more Hanna-Barbera shows these days since it's gone out of style for some odd reason. So yeah, despite what most say, I enjoyed all the callbacks to the other shows and to the original Scooby-Doo series. And I love the action side of the movie, which gave Scooby and Shaggy a chance to shine as the heroes, instead of just having them run most of the time. I mean, without them, Brian wouldn't have realized his true potential as the next Blue Falcon, and I found it interesting that Scooby was a lot bigger than any of the other iterations, making him out to be. I mean, he's the descendant of one of the most famous dogs in history, which was really cool. And it's like the Goblin King, where Shaggy and Scooby were the only ones that could save the world. So with that, I feel this movie deserves a big old Scooby snack and an 8.5 out of 10 for the interesting story, the many references to the originals, and the great reimagining of the Scooby-Doo intro. But also, because of the many jokes and songs that did hinder the story. So yeah, I definitely recommend this to any Scooby-Doo fans and Hanna-Barbera fans, or if you're just looking for some fun story or something quick to watch. And unlike what most say, this movie isn't just for kids, so go watch it. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys soon. Scooby-Doo! And have a great night.